This is the first video going over the Similarity test review sheet number 1. The first thing I'm going to show you is the answers to the vocabulary matching. So you can take a look at these, check with your answers that you've already worked out. If you can see any discrepancies, take a look at the actual definitions so you can make sure you understand these questions for the upcoming test. Start going through some questions. Question number 1, if the preimage of a triangle has vertices of A, B, and C, you can see we have existing vertices of the preimage. Where would the image vertices be after a dilation from the origin? So we're doing a dilation from the origin with a scale factor of 2, or 2 to 1. That means the scale factor of 2 over 1, which is 2. Our transformation notation would look like this. We're going to multiply the x and the y value by our scale factor of 2 over 1, or 2. So in this case, we'll take a look at this. A had a x value of 4, multiply that times 2, and that gives us 8. Let me change colors here. And then it had a y value of 2. 2 times 2 is 4. And then so on. You multiply every existing vertex x and y value by the scale factor of 2, and you're going to end up with 4 and 12 and 6 and 24. Let's take a look at the next one. A scale factor of 1 to 2. Well, 1 to 2 is actually 1/2. So that's 1/2. That means our transformation notation is going to look like this. We're going to take the current x and y values and we're going to multiply them by 1/2, or cut them in half. So now you can take a look at A. A, the x value was 4. 4 times 1/2 is 2. 2 times 1/2 is 1. And then so on. Go ahead and do these and check your work. This should be 1, 3. And then this one is going to be 3 times 1/2. That's going to end up being a decimal 1.5 and 6. Last one. What about a scale factor of 5 to 2? Well, that is a fraction of 5 over 2. So our transformation notation is going to be 5 over 2 times x. Let me correct that, make that a little better readable. 5 over 2 times x, 5 over 2 times y. Let's do the first one together so you can see this with a calculator. I'll move this over here. So we can take a look. We have an A value. The x value of A is 4. So 4 times. And then I'm going to go ahead and do 5 divided by 2 in parentheses. There's my scale factor. And I get 10. So plug it in that way. And you'll be able to solve these. End up with 10. Check the rest of them yourself and check your work. You'll end up with 5, 5, 15. This is going to be a decimal, 7.5, and 30. So make sure you understand how to use scale factor to change the existing xy values to the new coordinates of your copy or your image. All right, number 2. If the ratio of AB to BC is 7 to 4, what's the length of AB? Well, all we have to do, class, is set this up as a proportion. This is a ratio, which means it is a fraction. AB over BC. And 7 to 4 is a ratio. That means it is a fraction. And this word is means they equal each other. All I have to do now is plug in what I know. Well, I know BC is 18. AB is our unknown side that we're looking for, and that's equal to 7 to 4. Let's go ahead and cross multiply. X times 4 is 4x equals 18 times 7. And that's 4x equals 126, and divide both sides by 126 and you will get x is equal to 31.5. So if you have to write this as a sentence, you would write, at least you would write this: AB is equal to 31.5, and our unit of measure is inches. So there is our answer. All right, let's go to the next one. Same kind of problem. You should try to work this out on your own before you watch me work it out. Try it and then check your work and see if you're getting the correct answer. All right, again, I have a ratio. This is AB over AC, and it says that is equal to the ratio 8 over 7. I know AB is 6. AC is my unknown side, and that's going to equal 8 over 7. Let's cross multiply. X times 8 is 8x equals 6 times 7. That means 8x equals 42. Divide both sides by 8, and you're going to end up with x is equal to 5.25. Now, you can round this to 1 decimal, but since it only has 2 decimals, I would just leave it exactly at 2 decimals, unless the question says round all answers to 1 decimal. So our final answer is going to be AC is equal to 5.25, and again, our unit of measure is inches. And there we go for number 3. All right, let's continue to question number 4. Question number 4. All right, we got to find some missing measurements. If triangle ABC is similar to triangle XYZ, what is the... We're going to be asked a bunch of questions. I'm going to go through my process with you. First process is I'm going to write my proportionality statement. I know that this similarity statement means AB corresponds to XY, BC corresponds to YZ, and then my first and third position AC corresponds to XZ. There's my first step. Second step, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to circle the side lengths that I know. I know ZY, and I know XY, and I know BA. So I've got a ratio where I know the top and the bottom. That's a good thing. Then I'm going to go ahead and mark my angles. Angle A corresponds to angle X. I'll put a circle around it. Angle B corresponds to angle Y. And then angles Z and C correspond. I'm not going to circle those. I know the ones that aren't circled match up. All right, let's check our answers now. What is the measure of angle C? Well, I don't know, but I do know that C corresponds to Z, and Z is 88. That means the measure of angle C has to be 88 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and label that, since I know it. Next question, what's the measure of angle A? Angle A is here, and that corresponds to angle X, but they didn't tell us what that measure is. Now is where we use our rule of knowing that the angles of a triangle add up to 180. So that means I'm going to calculate this. I'm going to take 180, and I'm going to subtract angle B, which I know, and I'm going to subtract angle C, which I know, and I'm going to end up with 51 degrees. So there's my answer for angle A. I'm sorry, yeah, angle A. So I'm going to write that in there, 51 degrees, in case I need it. Okay, what is the length of side BC? Well, we can use our proportionality statement to solve for that. I'm going to set this up. I know I'm going to use the ratio AB over XY, and that's going to be equal to, well, I'm looking for BC, so I'm going to use my second ratio, BC over YZ. Let's go ahead and plug in what we know. So AB is equal to 36, XY is equal to 24, BC is our unknown, that's what we're solving for, and YZ is 18. All right, let's cross multiply. We've got x times 24, so you've got 24x is equal to 36 times 18. I'm just going to go ahead and multiply that out. 36 times 18, and that's equal to 648. Now I'll divide both sides by 24, and I'm going to end up with x equals, Let's do that. 648 divided by 24 equals 27. So x is equal to 27. That means our final answer is BC equals 27, and our unit of measure is millimeters. So there's our answer for the length of BC. We've got one more. What's the length of side ZX? Well, we're going to use our proportionality statement again. We already know we're going to use AB over XY because we know those two side lengths. And now I'm looking for ZX or XZ. That's our last ratio. AC over XZ. All right, let's plug in what we know. Same numbers up here. 36 divided by 24, and that's equal to, well, the length of AC is 14, and our unknown side is XZ. I'll scroll up now because now we can solve this. All right, cross multiply. We've got 36x is equal to 24 times 14. 24 times 14 equals 336. And now we're going to divide both sides by 36. Let's do that. Oops. Divided by 36. And now I have to round now. We're going to round this to one decimal, 9.3. So it's approximately 9.3. And then we can write our answer. ZX is approximately 9.3 millimeters. And there's your good examples of how to use proportionality statement and the similarity statement to find missing parts. So go ahead, we can do one more here. Let's go to number 5. Number 5, if triangle EFG is similar to triangle RST, what is the length of RS? Well, we're going to go through the same process. Let's write our proportionality statement. So I will do that first. We've got EF over RS is equal to FG over ST, and that is equal to EG over RT. Let's circle the sides that we know. We know RT, we know TS or ST, we know EG, and we know EF. Alright, that's enough information. Now I'm not going to mark the angles only because they're not asking us about the angles at all. Alright, let's set up for RS. We're going to use the ratio that we know the top and bottom of. That's EG divided by RT is equal to, we're looking for RS, that's the first ratio. That's in the first ratio, EF over RS. Let's go ahead and plug in what we know. EG is 8. RT is 24.5. EF is 8.2. And RS is our unknown side X. Alright, decimals don't bother us. No big deal. Calculator will do the work for us. 8 times X is 8X. And we've got 24.5 times 8.2. 24.5 times 8.2. And that equals 200.9. And now we're going to divide both sides by 8. So we're going to divide that by 8. And we've got to round this. 25.1 is rounded to one decimal. Is approximately 25.1, and that means our final answer RS is approximately 25.1 centimeters. So there's our first one. And let's take a look at B. B is what's the length of GF? Same process. We're going to use EG and RT again because we know those sides. But now we're looking for GF. So now we're going to use the middle ratio, which has FG or GF in it, over ST. Alright, let's plug in what we know. We've got EG is 8. RT is 24.5. FG is the one we don't know. And ST is equal to 16. Alright, let's cross multiply. We've got x times 24.5. So 24.5x is equal to, we've got 8 times 16. 8 times 16. That's 128. Let's divide both sides by 24.5 divided by 24.5, and that equals approximately 5.2. So approximately 5.2, and that means our final answer is GF is approximately 5.2 centimeters. So you see that once you learn this process, it's the same thing over and over. Just run the process. Don't worry about decimals. It all works out if you set up your proportionality statement and set up your proportion and then solve for the missing part.